This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network across Europe on Euro Radio TV, and on the iHeart Radio Network. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone at xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and to check out the great programming we have available for you 7/24/365 on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Barbara Grace Reynolds. She is a freedom and empowerment coach, divine Infinity Healing Practitioner, channel, spiritual energy healer, speaker, and author. Now, Barbara helps women to step into their power, purpose, and self-confidence. When they work with her, they gain clarity and understanding about their past choices and future options. This helps them to let go of their habits, fears, and limitations so that they are no longer stuck in problems. Now they are living in solutions and manifesting their dreams as they embrace self-love and self-acceptance. Barbara stands in the energy of unconditional love with all of her clients. Her sessions are a safe place where nothing is judged, giving clients the freedom to be. Her website is divinelyguidedhealing.com, and joining me now is Barbara Grace Reynolds. And Barbara, welcome to the X-Zone.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Barbara, what was it that started you to do the great work you do, helping so many people?
Well, I started looking for answers for myself. And I was also one of those people that everybody else was always asking questions of. Mm-hmm. Even strangers would come and tell me their life stories. So I started looking for ways to make changes to my own life. Mm-hmm. And I found that by helping other people change their lives, it was also helping me. So that was just a great way to have a greater effect in the world.
Have you always been spiritual? I mean, a channel, a spiritual energy healer? Or did this grow with you in time?
I have always been spiritual, but not religious. Religion is something that I don't really have a warm and fuzzy feeling for. Mm-hmm. But to me, spirituality is that connection that each of us has with the Creator, God, whatever name you want to use. And it's about developing our own lives the way we want our lives to be, instead of having someone tell us how we should be.
Tell me about your freedom and empowerment coaching, because this seems to be something that a lot of people are really looking for these days.
You know, freedom has always been like one of the important things in my life. I always wanted to have freedom. I never felt that I had freedom. And I realize now that a lot of that was because I didn't actually believe that I was good enough to have freedom. You know, we grow up with these beliefs that we're taught. And I was raised, my father was in the military, and so we went to military chapels. And we went every Sunday and every Wednesday, and we went to the youth group, and we did all of that. And so when I turned 19 and I left home, I didn't go to church at all for the next 30 years, unless it was a wedding or a funeral, because I didn't feel that I could find what I was looking for in church, because I didn't feel the spiritual aspect in church. It felt more controlling, more telling me that I'm not a good person, and if I don't follow these rules, then I'm never going to get into heaven, and all of that sort of stuff, and that never resonated with me.
Now, Jolie, we've got to take a commercial break, so please stand by, but I must tell you that I agree with you there. I believe that organized religion has been used to suppress, and it's only recently that they've realized that, oh my God, what the heck did we do? And it's coming to the point where a lot of people are saying, do we really need organized religion? Because no longer are we sheep. We don't need shepherds. We need to learn how to lead ourselves. Exonation, our guest this hour is Barbara Grace Reynolds, and we'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Welcome back, everyone. Are you ready for the debate of the century? That's right, right here on the X-Zone Radio Show and being broadcast around the world on the X-Zone TV network, as well as on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, the Digital Broadcast Network, and the Digital Satellite Network. And with our friends at Simul TV, the debate, a 3-hour debate, all about Roswell, New Mexico, with the grandfather or the great-grandfather of the Roswell, New Mexico UFO incident, the one and only Stanton T. Friedman, and the host of the X-Zone Broadcast Networks, a different perspective, a former military colonel, a former investigator, and of course one of the most well-known authors of books about UFOs and Roswell, New Mexico, and of course I'm talking about my good friend Kevin Randall. 3 hours, debate, live, audio, video, available on satellite. You name it, we're going to be there. And of course, yours truly is going to be the moderator of the debate. So more information as that firms up. We are looking for a date in the end of July. And we'll be posting all that information on xzbn.net. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Barbara Grace Reynolds. Her website is divinelyguidedhealing.com. And what was it like the first time you realized that you were a psychic and a channel?
Well, becoming, having my third eye opening and getting in touch with being able to hear other beings was something that I really wanted, because I had all of these questions. I was always asking all of these questions, but I wasn't hearing any answers. And so I was guided to this website that had this page on how to do automatic writing. And I actually have those instructions on my website now for people who want to do that. And that's what I was guided to start with. And so I started doing the automatic writing, where I would ask a question and then my hand would automatically write the answer. And I knew the answer wasn't coming from my brain because it didn't even use the same sort of language structure that I would use. And I noticed that after a time, I began to hear the answer instead of needing to write the answer. And so when I reached that point and I was like, okay, well, since I can do this now, I want my third eye open and I want to be able to see things. And I would have to go and do something, in order to have that happen or whatever. And what happened was the next day, my guidance told me, I had someone that I had talked to before, and they contacted me and asked me what I saw about a situation. And I was like, I don't see yet. You guys didn't open my third eye. My guidance was like, just say what's coming to you. And so I started answering the question, even though there was a part of me that said, you don't know how to do this. You should wait until you really know what you're doing. But I listened to my guidance, and I actually did start seeing things as well as hearing things, and sometimes I feel things. So I'm developing all of these senses because I've said that this is something I want, and then I'm willing to actually do it.
It sounds as if the powers to be kind of pushed you off the side of the pool because they knew you could swim.
Yes. I didn't know I could, but they knew I could.
Yeah, I remember as a child, I would swim in the deep end of the pool that I could still touch bottom, and I'd go across and back, across and back, across and back. And then one of the lifeguards, who was a friend of mine, an older friend of mine, kind of said, all right, listen, I'm sitting right here, jump, you can swim, I've watched you. And you know what? Because I had confidence in him, I jumped in and wow, yes, I could swim. So I didn't. I guess that was the metaphorical push that I got, is that relates to how you were able to use your God-given gifts. Now, you're also in energy healing. Can you describe to us what energy healing is?
Well, for me, that started out by learning Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
And Reiki is a particular kind of energy healing. And there's the Reiki energy, which I now know is just a part of the spectrum of healing energy that's there. So now I refer to it as spiritual energy because I don't limit it to just the Reiki energy. But I allow that healing energy to flow through me into whomever I'm sending the energy to. I don't have any control over what happens with that energy, whether people heal or not, what they experience. It's kind of like I'm a water hose, and it's just flowing through me, and that's my part, and I don't have anything else to do with it. But I find that energy can do astonishing things to people. I've worked on people who, one lady, I was working on her back, and when I finished and she moved and she said, oh my God, that's the first time in 20 years that it hadn't hurt for me to move.
Oh, wow.
And I was, really? See, because I didn't know what they were doing. I just tell them to do whatever's for the highest good of the person that I'm working on. But I find that it's really amazing sometimes the way it brings freedom to people's lives.
So what is the difference between energy healing and divine infinity healing?
Divine infinity healing is a process where someone tells me they have an issue, whatever the issue is. Let's say that they, now I can't think of an issue. Okay, let's say that they're looking for a job and they can't find a job and they don't know why they can't find a job. And so they asked me to do the divine infinity healing on them. And so that consists of me asking a question. The question is usually, would you like divine infinity healing for? And then I start listening to my guidance about what it is that's in them that's keeping them from having a job. It could be that they're afraid to actually get a new job. It could be that they don't believe that it's possible or that they deserve a new job. It could be because they don't actually want a job, but everybody keeps telling them that they should get a job, so they're trying to get a job to satisfy everybody else. It could be that they just don't believe in themselves, and a lot of people don't believe in themselves, and that comes up a lot. So this divine infinity healing goes throughout them and finds all of these little things that I mentioned in this question, and it begins to expand that energy. And those are usually beliefs that you've gotten from other people that you've decided to hang on to. And so it expands those beliefs till they're, a trillion times bigger than the universe, so that they're no longer in your body, in your energy. And you don't have to deal with that anymore.
So how long does it take for people to experience these changes in their lives?
Well, I do have several radio shows, and I do the Divine Infinity Healing on callers who call in on the radio show. And usually by the time that, they've answered the question And then I tell them to take a few deep breaths. And then I ask them how they feel, and they feel different.
Wow. Now,
so it's not something you have to wait for.
Now, what channels or radio stations are you on?
I'm on Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, okay. So you're on the internet You're on the internet podcasting systems.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. I was going to give your radio stations a plug, but Blogspot. There you go. So how does divine healing actually differ from many of the other healing modalities that are out there? You know, because it seems that every day a new method of healing is coming up.
It does seem that way.
Yeah.
And during the years that I've been doing the life coaching and the energy healing, and I've tried so many, I can't even name them all. Mm-hmm. I keep asking my guidance to take me to something that is simple and effective, something that I don't have to, remember, okay, you need to tap here and turn there and all of that kind of stuff. It's just a matter of asking a question. Now, there's a lot more to it that people don't know about, but that's part of my setting it up so that I can utilize it. I have like 5 pages of intentions so that when I'm doing this healing on people, I have the intention that it'll work, that it brings it closer to the Creator, whatever their idea of the Creator is, that it'll also have a positive effect on their families. And there's a whole, like I said, 5 pages of intentions that go with it. I've tried other methods. I started out with EFT, which is the emotional freedom technique, which involves tapping on these various meridian points and saying these phrases over and over and over. And I got really tired of that because I got tired of tapping on myself. So
the bruises were a dead giveaway.
Yeah, I asked to be shown something else. And like I said, they've shown me, I'd say at least 40 different modalities that I've experienced, and some of them I actually took courses in. And then I found that I really didn't like them because I didn't see the difference. And that's what I like about the Divine Infinity Healing. I see the difference right away.
Now, when you say they, who are they?
They is the name I use for my team. Everybody has a team, that has their guardian angels and their guides, and then a variety of angels can be part of your team, and some of your ancestors might be part of your team. They're the ones that work with you to support you in the evolution of your own life. And so when I say they, I'm talking about my team, and my team varies in size. Sometimes it's just a few, 3 or 4. Actually, I think 12 is like the smallest I've seen in a while.
Wow.
And sometimes my team is so large that it's millions. I have no idea how many it is. But it depends on who I'm working on and what it is that they need. My team size fits what I'm doing.
Good thing the million don't come for lunch, right?
No, and if they did, they'd bring the food. That's the wonderful thing about them.
That is wonderful. That truly is. So how did you discover your team?
It was through becoming a conscious channel. And at first, when I was doing the automatic writing, I would ask, well, who am I talking to?
Right.
And they would always tell me their name. And then when I started doing the conscious channeling where I was hearing them, I started talking, and the first one I was talking to was Archangel Metatron, actually, and he was the main one that I was talking to.
Wow, this is strange. I have to tell you why. I'm sorry for interrupting you. We just had Julie Geigel on before you, and she is a channel for Archangel Metatron. Now, is this a coincidence?
He is a wonderful, wonderful archangel.
Wow.
He's just
I've been doing this show for 26 years, and I've never had the same archangel on the same show.
Well, he encouraged me to look within myself, to get a greater understanding of who I am.
Right.
And I would have all of these questions and write all of this stuff down. And then over time, now the ones that I deal with the most frequently are Jesus and Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael.
Well, I think I've got three archangels too, Mo, Larry, and Curly, but we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. X-Zone Nation, Barbara Grace Reynolds is our special guest, and her website is divinelyguidedhealing.com, and Barbara and I will be back after the news, so whatever you do, don't go away.
Dreams are our personal gateways into infinite wisdom. Don't miss shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Corcoran's inspiring book, Shamanic Awakening Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles Sandra's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers and her initiations throughout the Americas and across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt. Sandy's knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private tarot readings, international journeys, a meditative CD, as well as her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate this earth walk, creating a deeper connection to yourself and all that is. Find this and more at Sandy's website, starwalkervisions.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
Exonation, Barbara Grace Reynolds is our guest. She is a freedom and empowerment coach, divine infinity healer practitioner, channel, spiritual healer, and speaker, as well as an author. Her website is www.divinelyguidedhealing.com. How did you develop the ability to be a conscious channel?
Well, it started with me wanting to get answers to the questions that I had about life. And, I was reading this stuff that said, okay, you've got these angels and they always answer you. And I was like, no, they don't. But when I started the automatic writing, I did start getting the answers. And I actually started seeing the answers other places, too. There was a time when I would look at people's license plates on their cars, and I would see a message in the license plate. And they're just letters and numbers, but for some reason, those letters would always have something in them that was for me.
As long as that message was... As long as the message on the license plate was back off, you're way too close, you're okay.
I never saw that one.
I love your laugh, by the way. It's very rich and it's very, very positive. What made you want to contact with divine beings? Like people that are out there in today's world, the business world and society, they don't care to contact divine beings. They really don't care about anything except how much money they can make, how much technology they can own, what their property is, what their value is, and so on and so forth. And yet here you are. You want to connect with divine beings. Why? How? When?
I
Where?
realized that they had a lot of information that I didn't have. Because I'd looked for the answers to my questions in my own experience, in my own life. And frankly, you're never going to find it there because your own brain is just going to kind of replay what you already know. Well, when you are connecting with these divine beings, you are opening up to all of the universe and all of the information that's in the universe. And so the answers you get are actually so much more profound than anything that you could personally think of.
Is there any difference between a divine being and an angel?
No. I just use the term divine being because I don't always just talk to angels. Sometimes it's ascended masters, goddesses, gods, people who've passed over. So I just call them all divine beings.
Which other divine beings, besides Archangel Metatron, do you connect with?
I've connected with so many. Mother Mary.
Wow.
Goddesses like Kali and Sophia and... Okay, I'm seeing this one, but I'm not hearing the name. All right, so I'm going to go on, pretend that I didn't hear. I've connected with Saint Germain and...
Quite a few.
Yeah, and all of the archangels and then some other angels and people's guides. And it's really, there's so much that I can't tell you all of their names.
Let me ask you this then. What was it like connecting with Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ?
She is so loving. That's really the best description I can give of her. She's just so loving. It's like she wraps her arms around you and she holds you close and she just tells you everything's okay.
Did you go to her or did she come to you?
When I connect with anyone, they come to me. I usually just issue an invitation. Let's say I'm working with someone and they want to get a divine message, And I'll always ask them, is there someone in particular you want to get the message from?
Mm-hmm.
And if they say no, then I'll say, well, who is it that wants to talk to this person? And I always have several that step up, but one steps up in front. And that's who I channel to the person.
Wow. It must be exciting to be able to connect with these people who are on the other side and who have been revered so greatly throughout the years.
You know, the interesting thing about them is that they keep telling me over and over and over again that I am equal to them.
Mm.
And it really took me a long time to accept that, you know, because I had all of this beliefs in me that say, they're so much better than you. You've got to prove that you can, you know, do anything before you're as good as them. And they're always saying, you're equal. You're equal. You're equal to us. You're equal to everyone. There is no one that is better or worse than anyone else. Everyone has the Creator within them. Everyone is equal, and everyone is different.
So where do these beings reside? Do they reside in what we call heaven? Do they reside in the great beyond, different dimensions, different realities? Where do they call home?
It's kind of a different plane of existence, a different dimension.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're in physical bodies and they need some place that's going to have food and shelter and all of that. They're spiritual beings, and so they don't really need any of that. And they can be everywhere at once. So they don't have the limitations, that we have, that we can only be where our body is. Well, they're spiritual, and their
mm-hmm.
spirit can be with everybody at the same time. So there's no limitation on when they can work with you and when they can work with the person across the street.
Right.
They can work with everyone.
So why is it that I understand that you work primarily with women. Why is that?
Most of the people who contact me are women.
Oh,
I do have a few men that I've worked with, and they get the same results, but most men are not
able to share their feelings?
They're not at that stage
Yeah.
in their own evolution. Men are taught that they're not supposed to express themselves. They're not supposed to have these questions. They're not supposed to actually look within themselves. They're supposed to be big, strong protectors, take care of everybody else, earn a good living, drink a couple of beers, and watch a football game.
I've heard that from a lot of women, but I was never raised that way. And, my wife and I have 6 children together. We have 10 grandchildren. And my sons and my daughters know that it's okay to express your feelings. It's okay to be who you are. You don't have to be anyone who you're not. You don't have to live a false life to be part of society. So when I hear this about men and their macho egos and their sports because they're too damn lazy to do anything else except sit on their butt, watch TV, and become Saturday or Monday morning quarterbacks, I find that pretty pathetic.
Well, I do know men who are not that way.
Yeah.
And, I have some male friends who are not that way.
Mm-hmm.
So often the men that I encounter are like, no, I don't need to know anything like that. No, I don't want to. No, I have all this stuff to do, and I don't really have time for all of that. But there are a lot of men now who are opening up to their own spirituality, who are opening up to their masculine and their feminine energy, who are willing to accept themselves and accept that they don't have all of the answers.
No one does. Ask my wife. She'll tell you I don't. That's why we have a GPS in the car now. Exonation, my guest is Barbara Grace Reynolds, and her website is divinelyguidedhealing.com. So people come to you, and you do channeling. Do you connect with the angels? You connect with the divine masters, divine beings, I'm sorry. And how long does it take for you to make contact?
It's pretty much instantaneous.
Wow. Have you ever been walking through an airport or a grocery store, a train station, or down the street with your significant other, and all of a sudden somebody wants to come through to you from the spirit world?
I actually have members of my team who come through to me while I'm having a conversation.
Wow.
Because sometimes I'll be talking to someone and I'll say something and then I'll go like, I didn't know that. And I'll realize that it was them. But they have my permission to do that.
Wow.
I want to always provide the best possible information in any moment. And if I don't know the answer and they know the answer, they have my permission to just flow it through me.
Blurt it out.
Yeah.
Well, does your team have a message for me tonight?
Well, let's see. Now I'm here, Metatron. And see, Metatron wants to talk to you. I told you you'd have something. So are you willing to receive a message from Metatron?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And he'll probably start out by calling you dear one or beloved or something like that, because that's what they do.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Beloved, you have a deeper understanding of who you are than so many other people do. And we applaud you for that. And we encourage you to continue to look deeper within you and call on me. I really want to assist you. I see potentials in you that you have yet to discover. And I want to help you blossom into this beautiful, amazing being that you came here to be. And this is not so much about the work that you are doing on the radio or anything like that. It's about who you are living as in every moment. There is so much more to you than you know. And if you are ready to experience it, if you are ready to open up to the truth of who you are, and to experience that beautiful unconditional love that the Creator has and that you have for yourself, then call on me. We will make things happen.
Wow.
So I have no idea what he's talking about, so you can talk to him and find out. But apparently there's something there.
I don't know what to say except thank you and thank Metatron.
You're welcome.
You and I have to take our final break. Barbara, please stand by. Exonation Barbara. Grace Reynolds is our special guest, and she is a freedom and empowerment coach, divine infinity healing practitioner, channel, spiritual energy healer, speaker, and author. If you'd like more information about Barbara, her website is divinelyguidedhealing.com. And Barbara and I will be back as we wrap up this hour here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. Don't go away.
Are you curious? Do you want to learn more about how the world works and have fun at the same time? Study coincidences with me, Dr. Bernie Beitman, MD, on my Connecting with Coincidence radio show here on the XZBN network. Listen to Jungians theorize, statisticians randomize, true believers evangelize, while I categorize. I dance to the rhythm of coincidences. People who experience me see more of them. Maybe something on the show matches a thought in your mind. Let us know. Expand your mind to the weirdness happening around you. Synchronicity spoken here, there, and everywhere. For more information, put Connecting with Coincidence in your search engine and find my website, my social media sites, and my blog.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A Soul Balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today, www.soulbalancing.world. There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the 4 corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
Welcome back, everyone. Barbara Grace Reynolds is our guest. Her website is divinelyguidedhealing.com. Barbara, tell us about the books you've written.
I'm one of the many authors in a book called Guided by the Light, where I wrote 2 of the chapters and one of a little writing. And it was basically messages from the angels that they wanted me to share in this book. And I'm writing a book on my own now, which is containing some prayers that are a little different than traditional prayers. They're actually 3-part prayers where you talk about the problem, then you let go of the problem, and then you ask to have whatever it is you want to have instead of that problem, the new energy that you want to have installed in you. And so I'm working on that book now, and I should be finished that by the end of the summer. And someday I'm going to write a book called The Book of Love. And I've been being told that for years now. So I guess I'm actually going to sit down and write it.
What's the Book of Love going to be all about? I understand it's going to be about love, but what part of love?
I think it's going to be about kind of an explanation of what the unconditional love is. Because when a lot of people hear the word love, what they actually think is love is actually fear. Because so much of what we think is we're doing out of love, we're actually doing out of fear. So it's a clarification of what love truly is and what it feels like, because there'll be energy attached to this book so that people can feel the love.
As a speaker, when you go out and do a speaking engagement, what is your topic and how do you reach your listeners?
I talk about a variety of things, although love does come up a lot. The last time I was speaking to an audience, it was actually at the Unitarian Church that I belong to at the beginning of this month, and my topic was, is God real? And I found that was a really interesting exploration for me, because I realized that I had completely let go of the concept of God as I had learned it as a child, going to, regular church and hearing the different ministers and the conversations about sin and living the right life and all of that sort of crappy stuff. And that whole vision of the big man sitting up in heaven with the big book and the big red pen marking down everything you did wrong. Like God doesn't have enough to do already. And so for me now, God is energy. It's a blank slate where I get to create whatever I decide to create. And if I decide to create these horrible things and fear and lack and all of that, God works with me. And if I decide to create love and beauty and prosperity, then God works with me, because God is not judging me. There is no judgment. It's a blank slate, and I have the power to create whatever I choose to create.
What are some of the questions? I'm sorry.
God is king.
Go ahead. What are some of the questions that you get asked during your speaking engagements?
That's okay. So people want to know, have a better understanding of who they are. That's something that a lot of people want to understand, because, we're taught that we're these small, insignificant, sinful beings who are going to go straight to hell. And that's another part of what I've been through. I've completely let go of the whole concept of hell. But it's getting people to accept that they are actually responsible for themselves and only themselves. And that the most important thing that they can do in their lives is love themselves.
Because if you can't love yourself, no one else can.
Right, and you can't love anybody else either.
That's right. That's right. All throughout the ages, philosophers, religious leaders, and other great thinkers have said all you need is love. Love is the answer. And yet the majority of people still do not get it through their thick heads because it's too simple. There's got to be more to that. Because in our world, in our existence, life is simple. We humans complicate it. Yes,
definitely.
Yeah.
And, that's what my guidance would always tell me when I was asking them question after question after question. And they finally reached a point where the only answer they gave me was love. And so then I actually had to look at what is love, because I didn't realize, I didn't know.
Well, what is love then?
Unconditional love is acceptance. It's acceptance of exactly what is, without any judgment, without you deciding anything's right or wrong or good or bad or any of that stuff. It's just acceptance. It doesn't mean that you are accepting so that you can change someone or anything like that. It means that you are accepting. That's it. Love just is.
Like the little puppy that you bring home from the pet shop. They love you unconditionally.
Yes.
Just like that little baby that you bring home from the nursery in the hospital. They love you unconditionally. Just like those two lovebirds who have been married for so long and they still go out for those evening walks holding hand in hand, knowing that any time now one may be called back home. But they don't care because they love unconditionally and they know that they'll be together once again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you need is love. It's that plain. It's that simple. So how do you get this message across to the masses?
That's why I channel, so that my guides can take care of that. Because each person is at a different point in their own evolution. So one message will not work for everybody. It's not supposed to. And so when I'm working with someone and I'm saying the things that that are channeling through me, I go ahead and I say them. I used to try to filter them and say, oh, no, they're not going to recognize that. I can't say that. I can't say that. And I found that when I did just say what I was guided to say, then afterwards people would say, well, when you said that really resonated with me. And that would have been the one thing that I was trying my best not to say, but I said it anyway. And that is the one thing that really connected with them. So I'm learning that each of us is different, and that's part of the beauty of who we are, and that one answer does not fit everybody.
How do you see the world of tomorrow?
I see the world as opening up more and more to love. I see more and more people deciding that they do not have to stay stuck in the mess that they have in their life. That's one of the things that I love about the political setup that we have now, is that it's pushing people to get out there and to start accepting that they can make a difference in their own lives and in the world. So all these people who complain about, who we have for president, and I see it as a wonderful opportunity because it really is changing the world.
I think that the election of President Trump proved to people that anyone can become the president of the United States. And look what's happening to him. The guy is under fire, 724-365. And, I find it rather disheartening. But that's just my own personal opinion.
Part of his evolution, too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So this is really for his highest good as well as our highest good. And that's one of the things that I've had to learn, is that no matter what happens, it really is for my highest good. Even if I completely doubt that it's for my highest good in the moment, I will eventually see how it was for my highest good.
We've got about 2 minutes left. What are your final thoughts, or what's your final message for the listeners of the X-Zone Nation tonight?
Well, the thing that... Okay, I'm not sure who it is that's talking. Okay, so the thing that Archangel Michael wants everyone to realize is that each and every one of us is actually more powerful than we know. And that when we start opening up to being that power that we are, that power that comes to us from our connection with the Creator, that the Creator is within each and every one of us, there is no separation. Separation is impossible. And so when you are living from that power and creating from the desires of your heart what is true to your soul, then you can have such a phenomenal impact on the world that we are not these little insignificant bits of nothing that God doesn't have time for. God loves us, every one of us. We are so incredibly loved, and we don't even know it.
And we are so incredibly blessed.
Yes.
Barbara, I want to thank you ever so much for joining us tonight. It's been a great pleasure talking to you. I hope that we have the opportunity of speaking to you again in the future.
I would love that.
You take care of yourself, my dear. And X-Zone Nation, if you'd like to contact Barbara Grace Reynolds, her website is www.divinelyguidedhealing.com. I'll be back on the other side of the news at 6.5 minutes past the top of the hour as the X Zone continues, right here from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the iHeart Radio Network, the Mutual Broadcast Network, Talkstar Radio Network, across Europe on Euro Radio TV, and of course on xzbn.net. Don't go away.